expression going around. She's looking like the curious case of Benjamin Button. And yeah, someone actually applied that to Kris Jenner, the Kardashian-Jenner matriarch, who we've seen steer an empire while managing daughters, brands, and her momager role, is now front and center in her own big wave comeback campaign. And she looks more refreshed, snatched, and younger than ever. She's also been revealed as one of the new faces of MAC Cosmetics, fronting the I Wear MAC campaign at just 69 years old. But what I want to know is, why does everybody love it that Kris Jenner is aging backwards? Why are we applauding? Why are people literally pulling their shirts off for this? What does all of this actually say about society? And finally, what does it actually all mean? For women, for all the minutes spent looking in the mirror, for how we even define beauty at every age? Well, buckle up, besties, because you know we're about to answer every single one of those questions, and prepare yourselves for impact, because I think this might be a bumpy ride.
I mean, look at Kris Jenner. She is pushing 70 years old and she looks like this. I don't care if she got a facelift. That doctor did amazing work. And if I was rich and I was her age, I would do it too. And take a peep at Scott Disick's comment. The curious case of Benjamin Button.
Yeah, but what about the curious case of those hands, Kris Jenner? Yeah, I know in this carousel you didn't want to show those off. Yeah, I know every single time I see you, you're wearing leather gloves now. Yeah, I know it's our new fashion trend. I know what you're trying to do here. And not to mention pop it off on an aloe ad, pushing 70 years old. Oh my God, this woman won't quit. In September 2025, MAC launched a campaign with Kris Jenner as the face for their Studio Fix foundation line. In a separate interview with Vogue Arabia, Kris confirms that she had a refresh facelift, performed by a very well-known plastic surgeon after having one done over 15 years ago. She states, and I quote, "I decided to do this facelift because I wanted to be the best version of myself." Now, some people are starting to believe that this was just the work of edited photos and different video filters. And for me, personally, it doesn't really matter whether or not her crazy facelift is actually real, because I have another question that I want to answer. Why are people gushing so hard for Kris Jenner's new look? What does it mean when a 69-year-old woman isn't just accepted, but is heavily celebrated for looking younger than ever?
Are we stupid? For every single one of you that stood up with us and said that Kris Jenner was face tuning, face apping, and photoshopping, we applaud you. Give yourself a pat on the back. We are not stupid. These are all of the photos Kris Jenner has been releasing over the last couple months of her insane facelift, which is an insane facelift, but this is still Photoshop. Skin has pores and Kris Jenner has wrinkles. This is an unrealistic beauty standard and we have been shouting it from the rooftops. This video is so blurry, it doesn't even look human. We love Kris Jenner. It is a great facelift. It did not need all of this blurring out. But even to give people this unrealistic beauty standard of what we can achieve when she still looks amazing. This is Kim Kardashian's TV show premiere showing Kris Jenner unedited, unfiltered. She didn't need all of the Photoshop.
The Photoshop is insane. You guys already know. When Kris Jenner dropped this new face, I was at like some sort of like party with my friends. I was sent down a spiral and then I was in an Uber like this. I had to go, besties, love ya, but the channel's waiting. We need a kiki. And I still been spiraling. And now you're telling me it's all the work of Photoshop, bro? Like, this is crazy. Women getting older and naturally aging has always been framed as some sort of decline. Wrinkles, less visibility, fewer opportunities, and unfortunately, in many beauty contexts, older means irrelevant. So when somebody actually defies that narrative, it really does become a spectacle. But when the defiance is through aesthetic enhancement, facelifts, injectables, skin treatments, it raises the question, are we celebrating age defiance or are we celebrating something entirely different altogether?
For my ladies in their late 20s, have y'all started experiencing ageism? I have been 27 for not even 3 months, and the amount of ageism that I have experienced is crazy. I've had people talk to me about my 30th birthday. I just turned 27. I've had people tell me I look young for 27. What is a 27-year-old supposed to look like? Am I supposed to have wrinkles? And a lot of this is rooted in the idea that aging is bad when aging is a gift. Not everyone is privileged to see tomorrow. Not everyone has a privilege to grow old. I personally don't believe you're old till you're like 65. But the shift has just been very interesting to me. And I'm very curious to see how it's going to ramp up, because probably what's going to happen by the time I'm like 28, 29.
Gen Z is so much worse about this than literally any other generation. I absolutely have to agree. Like, why can't we just let it go? Like, sure, do some things for yourself, you know, take care of your face, take care of your skin, take care of your body. But like, why are you on your high horse about it? Like, why? What do you mean we have to be 20 forever? Like, I actually, like, if you were to tell me, Lael, you're locked exactly where you are. You're locked in. You can't change. You can't age a day older than this. You are not only giving Benjamin Button, but you are giving immortal. Like, I have immortality. Ow! She's taking me down! Put me in a prison. Put me in a padded cell before you do that to me, girl, because truthfully, like, that would be my villain arc. That is where Lael Hansen villain arc would start, if I haven't already gotten there, let's be for real. I just think if we're not aging, we're not growing. I think that the years spent on this earth, we consistently are getting smarter, and I always think it's very interesting how badly I want to have kids in my 30s, because I just feel like I don't know enough to teach a baby anything right now. And I feel like as the years go by, not only do I get smarter and older, I get a little bit wiser. You have a little more money, and like I say, every single year past, we're hotter, we're smarter, and we're richer. So why are we so worried about getting older? Like, that's what I want to know. I just think, like, we can't be young forever. That's just an insane expectation. Nobody can ask that. You know what I mean? And what does it mean? Like, you're telling me I can't be hot when I'm 40? You're telling me I can't be hot when I'm 60? I'll always be hot. We'll always be hot, besties. There is nothing to fret. Because why is everyone acting like life ends at 30? Yeah, because it doesn't. It doesn't. My boyfriend is gonna be pushing 32, and he is so smoking hot, so much fun. Society thinks women expire after 25. It's wild, and we don't. But you know what? Speaking on this ageism conversation, I get it all the time. Like, literally, my best friend is about a year and a half younger than me, and she's like, oh my God, you're old. Catch up. You're a little young. Like, let's get it going. We're so conditioned to treat these crazy physical transformations like a victory. Look how far she's come, we say. Look how stunning. Yet for somebody like Kris Jenner, who is already wealthy, influential, and very powerful, this upgrade definitely sends a different message. Glory just isn't enough unless you keep reinventing the body. It also consistently says that the body is the brand. For decades, she has built businesses, managed stars, produced shows, and now her own face is at the forefront of a new campaign. Kris's exact quote in Vogue Arabia: "If you feel comfortable in your skin, for me, this is aging gracefully." Sure, it sounds empowering, and yes, she should have agency over her body. But when combined with refresh, best version, and a full-blown campaign, the underlying message becomes no excuse, age, you need to fix it. And considering all of this being thrown in our faces all the time, for the average woman, this is a tall order. Unrealistic for many and emotionally tricky. Because the root of aging, ladies and gentlemen, it's simply living life. Now, if there's one thing that Kris Jenner knows best, it's branding. She turned a simple family into a global brand. Need I remind you with that Fourth Strike song, girl, none of them have any talent and none of them can sing. So for her taking up all the spotlight now for herself is meaningful. She has mostly been behind the scenes, running the empire, but this campaign puts her in front. It's a strategic pivot. The mamaager is now the product too. MAC not only gets a celebrity face, but they get an icon with tons of cultural currency, who also represents control, reinvention, and longevity.
Why am I excited? Because I'm doing a MAC campaign. That's why. Quiet on the set! My first MAC product. My memories are of lip gloss.
This is a very unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it anyways. I am not a fan of MAC Cosmetics, and it has absolutely nothing to do with their actual product. When I was in my 20s, I had a ton of MAC makeup. My first prestige makeup brand that I actually bought was MAC. I loved their lip gloss. I loved their Viva line. I feel like they were one of the first brands that really introduced the charity aspect of giving back. That being said, once I got into my 30s, I went into a MAC store and I was looking for a specific product. I couldn't find it. I was wandering around and it was pretty crowded. It was busy, and that's fine. I wasn't, like trying to get in anybody's way or take somebody's spot, but I could not get anyone to help me. Everybody who worked there was 25 and under. And to me, I looked around and I felt like I had aged out of MAC. And since no one would give me assistance, I left and I went somewhere else, probably to Urban Decay. They just came out with a bunch of nudes, which they reintroduced. A lot of them are from the 90s. And it got me thinking, have they got any better? So I headed over to the website and wanted to see the models. They're all very skin tone inclusive, which is amazing. This beautiful woman is probably the oldest person that I could find. She has a little bit of laugh lines around her eyes. Maybe she's in her early 30s. And this beautiful woman is probably in her early 30s as well. Those are the oldest, I say that oldest, quote unquote, looking models on the website that I could find. So I started looking at the products that had the words radiance or plumping, things that are buzzwords for the over 40 crowd. And I found this young lady, this beautiful girl. Maybe she's 20.
It's so crazy because I absolutely never think about this. All I remember about MAC is growing up wanting to go in there, and every single time I got totally disrespected as like a 14-year-old girl. Like that was before we had like Sephora kids and like Sephora all that and the kids on social media. They'd like look me up and down and be like, this girl has no money. But it's really sad because we're all gonna end up here. We're all gonna get to a place where we would also like representation for our age as well. And why is it so hard to ask for that? Like, for example, Charlotte Tilbury is a brand where every single time I look up the flawless filter in my shade, it's a woman with gray hair, and she is absolutely stunning. So to see them representing somebody that is older who's pushing 70, of course, is very impressive. Beauty brands seem to always sell youth, but the new frontier is selling sustained youth, or youth that you've somehow magically regained. The fact that a nearly 70-year-old woman is one of the faces of their brand new campaign, that shifts the market. You're never too old for new products, new launches, and new contracts, which is fabulous if you have the means and the press coverage. But this raises the bar for normal women who consume these products and see such results presented as achievable or expected. But then there's something that fascinates me and slightly concerns me. It's about how natural she appears after this said refresh, and how people are treating it as if it's some sort of goal that they need to reach for too.
I love watching those videos about facelifts, women who get facelifts, lifts and neck lifts and eye lifts, blasphemy, upper blasphemies. And now what they're doing is reducing the earlobe as well. And I looked at my earlobes and look how fucking big they are. What?
She's going, come on. Should I do my face too? Lord. I'm just trying to pay my mortgage. Like, come on.
I mean, they're swinging. Look.
And she's so cute. Why do we need to add another thing to the list? And like you guys always say it best. It's like, oh yeah, and we gotta do makeup, and we gotta do clothes, and we gotta clean the house, and we gotta do the laundry, and we need to feed the kids, and somebody's gonna have grandchildren, and we're in the workforce. Like, can we just like hold hands, spin around in a circle, be girlies? Like, let's just have that whimsy, that wonder. Why are we doing this to ourselves? No one talks about the day you start noticing yourself aging. Oh my God. Me too, bro. It's kind of crazy. Like, that's something that is crazy to me. I can't stand the fact that you see all this stuff and like everybody gets so heavily praised for these facelifts, and you're like, oh, so that's where we're going, right? Gen Z, like that's all of us. We're going on a trip in a big old pirate ship, and we're all gonna go get a facelift together. Like, this is just insane. You know, curse me for having priorities, and it's just not that. I mean, like, again, I've said this in many of my videos. I don't really know what it's like beyond 28. I'm 28 right now. I can only sympathize and think about other people for so long until I realize I'm not a part of that ship. Like, I'm not in my 60s yet. I really don't know what it's like, but I can only imagine how crap it feels to be surrounded by all of these people that are changing their faces because they're so incredibly unhappy with getting any older. And of course, it's all of the people that we aspire to be like, all of the celebrities. And just because times have changed and we have influencers and we have movie stars and like people are all getting older as a collective doesn't mean that that influence is any less. People still want to look like their favorite celebrity. Some people still think Kim Kardashian is like the most gorgeous woman in the entire world and would do anything to be like her. When people start to say that she looks younger than she was in her 40s, what they're praising isn't simply just fewer wrinkles. It's tighter skin, a sharper jawline, smoother surfaces. It's body engineering. In the past, a certain amount of aging was simply expected in aging actresses. Lines, sag, maturity. But now we praise the ability to erase that. We're starting to applaud a face that looks like it's no longer aged, which honestly flips the entire idea of aging. Aging isn't meant to be erased, it's meant to be lived. The fact that we, as viewers, are celebrating no aging, it means that we're shifting what aging well actually means. This is what 36 looks like with no makeup filter or work done. Aging doesn't have to be scary. Like, she looks adorable. Like, her skin looks so full and plump. My mom is pushing 50 and you look like you could be my mom's mother. Yeah, user 74881416160770. Show yourself! Show yourself! Yeah, you won't. That's why you're like nameless, like just to spread hate. Social media has broken you people. This woman is beautiful and glowing. Like, I don't get it. Like, why can't we just love and accept people for what they look like and how they want to age? It's like, oh no, you're botched, or like, no, you're chopped. It's like, who? You're saying that to somebody that wants to age gracefully and just live their lives. Like, I think we've all grown so accustomed to a certain type of look, but I would personally never say that to somebody. Aging is a privilege and we need to take it seriously and with gratitude. Absolutely. Every day here should be a blessing for you. Like, every day you should be able to go to bed and say, thank you so much that I'm still here, because accidents happen. I honestly spend a lot of time thinking, because I've lost friends growing up, that I cannot believe that there are some people that I've known in my life that never actually got to make it to 28, which is actually insane to me. I'm 15. Should I start using retinol? Shut it down. Shut it down. Close it down, girls. I'm locking it up. And for Kris Jenner, this effect is all very powerful. She's both authority figure and youth icon. She's the mother of stars, and she looks like she could walk alongside them effortlessly. That is the look of this campaign. Timeless, reinvention, seamless transition between eras. But again, we must ask, at what cost though? For most women, full cosmetic refresh is completely inaccessible. For the rest of us, the message easily becomes, if you don't fix it, you're clearly behind.
Yes, I'm only 57 and I love my crinkly wrinklies. I love how I look. I feel sexier and healthier than I ever did in my 20s, my 30s, my 40s. I love aging. So 3 things I would like to share with you about aging. 1, it's a privilege denied to many. I know many people in my life who never made it to 10, 20, 30, 40. And my God, would I love to have them here today getting old and wrinkly with me. 2, I will never ever buy anything, any product with anti-aging written on it or anti-wrinkle. Anything you're anti, you make more of. So there you go. There is nothing wrong with aging. Again, it's a privilege denied to many. So I will never fall into this marketing trap about anti-aging. Truly, it's a gift. 3, as you get older, you just get freaking wiser. Couldn't give a continental what anybody else thinks of you. It's so irrelevant.
Now, when the Scott Disick says Benjamin Button, sure, it's funny, but it's also metaphorically rich. The idea of aging backwards is magical in fiction, but it is very weird in real life, because aging is supposed to move forward. It's cumulative. You gain experience, you accumulate tells, you change, and we used to value that. But if aging backwards is praised, if a 69-year-old is celebrated for looking 40 years old or younger, then perhaps the story of aging has changed. From progress to good maintenance. And yes, that is valid. Women, of course, deserve autonomy over their bodies and their faces. It's not at all about policing choices. It's about analyzing what those choices represent in society when they are elevated as the new norm. When the face of age defiance becomes a campaign face for a major beauty giant. Then the question becomes, are we broadening the spectrum of aging beauty or narrowing it into a new rigid standard? Now, here's the thing. You and me need to stop listening to influencers. Not because they're evil, not because they're liars, but it's because it's their job to tell you how you're supposed to feel about yourself. Every time a celebrity like Kris Jenner gets praised for aging backwards, something happens subconsciously. You start comparing. You start wondering if maybe you're behind. If you should book that consultation. Try the serum or maybe refresh yourself too. You might think that you're simply doing something wrong for just aging.
Do you think that you are promoting unattainable standards of beauty in any way?
No, I don't. Because I think we get up, we do the work.
Deep breaths. Hi, Kim. Upon seeing this video, it felt like a dump truck of gasoline was poured onto my already burning passion of dethroning the impossible beauty standards set on women. I'll preface this by saying I have no problem with you or any of your sisters getting plastic surgery. That's your choice. I will never shame that. My problem comes with the phrasing that it's other people's problems that they can't look like you all. Many people get up and work hard and do the work. But unlike you and your sisters, they don't have access to world-class gyms, personal trainers, in-home chefs, the best glam teams possible, organic fresh food, and all the other health and wellness things that only the 1% get. And might I note that even with those things, you and your sisters still Photoshop your pictures. So not only is your image not attainable in real life, but online it's extra unattainable. And this question was phrased by saying in any way. Like, are you guys setting an unattainable beauty standard in any way? And you can't take accountability for just one?
You guys, I'm still shook. that Kris Jenner's been photoshopping, bro. Like, and why was I thinking that she wasn't? Like, why is it that picture of her as the Benjamin Button got all that foliage in the background? That is so crisp, but her face is so pillowy, smooth, soft, so smoothed out. What is happening? Like, imagine being like almost above the beauty standard or trying to set this beauty standard and you're still photoshopping pictures. I'm confused. We do the work. Like, it's just work. Like, nobody wants to work anymore. Like, you guys just have to get up and work, and then you can be me. Celebrities don't just influence what we buy. They influence how we think about worth. The second you let someone else's appearance dictate your value, you've handed them control over your self-esteem. They can post one photo, one campaign, one story where they say, oh, I just did a little something, something to myself, and then you start spiraling. Then you start wondering why your reflection doesn't look like theirs. The truth is, most celebrities live in an ecosystem that is designed to sell you things. Kris Jenner doesn't just age backwards, but she has a small army of surgeons, dermatologists, stylists, editors, lighting experts, and PR professionals ensuring that she looks that way. So when you compare your bathroom lighting to a multi-million-dollar photo shoot, you are simply fighting an illusion. And even if Kris is being genuine, even if she believes she's pushing a better beauty standard by showing you that you can be glamorous at any age, your validation still shouldn't come from her. Because at the end of the day, her world is not yours. Her face doesn't have to pay your bills or pick up your kids or wake up without a glam squad. You live in reality, and reality is just different. It's time to start separating admiration from absorption. You can, of course, on your side, admire her success, her discipline, her power, whatever. We'll do whatever you want, bestie. But you just don't have to absorb her definition of beauty because whatever that is, it is completely convoluted. The most radical thing you can do as a woman is stop looking outward for permission to feel beautiful. Don't let somebody's agelessness campaign try to tell you that for some reason you're expired. You don't need to be frozen in time to be seen because I feel like there's more than enough women waking up and realizing that aging is kind of a privilege and not something to be ashamed of. So the next time that you see Kris Jenner or anybody that's trending because they're aging backwards, don't ask yourself how she did it. Just ask yourself why it is so important to you. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, throw it a big fat thumbs up and also comment down below. How have you guys been feeling? Do you guys think it's really weird that any woman that has gone over the age of 50 something literally doesn't look like they're 50 something anymore? All these celebrities are starting to look weird. Aside from Meryl Streep, get it, girl, get you. You are great. I just find it very difficult to look at all of this and to feel that for some reason these women are just getting praised because they get a new face. They're praised because they paid for something. Do I get praised for buying toilet paper to wipe my ass? Nobody praises me for that. It's the same thing. I don't know, they paid money or something so that they could feel a certain way and get a product out of it, like to help them feel better. I don't know. Maybe all of you guys are gonna argue and say, well, it's their business. Well, that's true too, but like, we don't have to feel the same way because that's not our business. None of my business, girl. If you guys enjoyed today's video, you can go ahead and click here to watch why everybody's starting to look the same. You guys already know it. Facelifts, the Kardashians, it's kind of adding to the whole shebang of it all. But personally, I think you guys will absolutely love that video, or you guys can click here to find out why Botox is absolutely destroying your face. It is so dangerous. Stop playing around in your face. Stop trying to be a Kardashian. The truth is, you wouldn't want to be them. You wouldn't want to touch them with a 10-foot pole. You guys know I only make these videos because I love you, and I truly want the best for you. I hope you have an amazing day or night or whenever you're watching, and I'll see you very soon.